And coming up next, we do have the football here, coverage here between Spurs and Manchester City, as that game will be live coming up next here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Hello and welcome here for the coverage here this afternoon, and I am Richard Keys and I'm here to broadcast you this major matchup for Man City. A lot of pressure for Pep Guardiola's side to get the win here over Tottenham, because if Man United win at Old Trafford against Newcastle United, then that will mean that Man United will be the ones who win the Premier League title this weekend. A lot of pressure over City though. They got Spurs also now closer now towards Man City to try and chase Man City for second place in the Premiership, but it's still an important game for Man City. And what's your thoughts going into your minds of how will Man City cope in this sort of game? Because they're the ones who are against Tottenham, good form at home this season. And do you see maybe Spurs doing anything dangerous in the matchup to stop Man City from doing anything in the game? Well, I do believe so, because the Premier League's the Premier League and anyone could beat anybody. And we know that obviously United have got a lot of, let's say, a chance here this weekend to go and win the Premier League title over Newcastle United. But as of obviously the opposition, however, for their opponents, the rivals are battling for the Premier League title, Man City. They know this game's very, very important for Pep Guardiola's team, and we know that Pep Guardiola's got a very strong team out here this afternoon to try and create something, a possibility maybe, to be the ones to go and win the game and really, let's say, keep the pressure still alive for Manchester United in this game to do something special in terms of their ability, hopefully, to win the Premier League title. Only 5 points in terms of Man United have to do. 5 points they have to get to go and win the league now. And hopefully they will pray and hope for Man City to lose here over Spurs to really, let's say, give Man United a real possible hope they could actually win the Premier League. So, a lot to play for here between Spurs and Man City. And I think Tottenham also want to really win this game because they're the home team. And also they're not far off from Man City to really chase now on second place. Okay, thank you very much there, Andy. And let's get straight now to White Hart Lane, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, as Spurs, Tottenham, will take on Man City. And the pressure is on for the Sky Blues of Manchester, Man City, to do something here over Tottenham to stop Man United on clinging the Premier League title by the end of this weekend. And let's get to the coverage right now between the two sides. And we are here for the matchup. For this game, we have Spurs versus Manchester City at White Hart Lane, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And Spurs will go on to take on City, and hopefully Spurs can stop City on really putting the pressure on United at the top of the Premier League race for City and also for Manchester United. But Spurs are currently fourth in the league at the moment. Win the game here for this afternoon, that can move up to third in the league and also 2 points behind from Man City in the Premier League if Spurs somehow get the win here over Man City here this afternoon. But Harry Kane, also a top striker, a real great talisman for the Spurs team throughout this whole season. And also for Ange Postecoglou's side, he has been absolutely brilliant throughout the whole season. And Ange Postecoglou especially has really made Spurs into a real fortress, of course, at home. And hopefully they might bring that in their favour in this matchup over Man City. And they do have a Europa League final to take place, of course, against Shakhtar Donetsk in a couple of weeks from now as well. And they've got that to play for, and they also got a chance to try and finish very, very, very perfectly at the end of the season to qualify for the Champions League, or maybe finish in the top two, maybe in second position if they can do Tottenham by the end of the campaign. But as for Man City, however, important matchup for them. They have to do something here and to try and really chase on Man United, of course, in that title race. Likely now, United are more likely now. They've got 5 points to get to go and win the Premier League title. And if, let's say, City end up obviously losing this game, and that will mean that United, their favour could be on their sights to go and get one more point away from becoming champions of the Premiership. Depends what happens at Newcastle game, it all comes down to. But here we go, underway here, kick-off between Spurs and also here with Manchester City. Foden won the ball back, on the ball here. What's going on here for Tottenham? Just standing still like a statue right there, but now City won the ball here quickly so far. And Foden had a chance to shoot, but that could have been 1-0 there for Man City though, but it hasn't been though, so goal kick here for Tottenham. And now here's to Laporte. Now here's Phil Foden now. And now Jude Bellingham now. Here's to Romero. And now Fabinho now. Pushing through here now to Kulusevski. And now good defending there from Guardiola now for City now. Now Guardiola really pushes through here for City. City now on the attack. Good defending now. Here's Romero now. Really pushing through. Here's Fabinho. And now here's Fekir now, really pushing through also here now for Spurs. Now Kane's through, Kane, and he does, and scores, and makes it 1-0 to Tottenham in the matchup. And what a real perfect finish for him to put Spurs through home, 1-0 up here in the game. What a strike there from Harry Kane, a real pure talisman he is for Tottenham, and they are in front. And Man City are behind here so far in the game here. And that's a very disappointment right there for Tottenham to be where they are now, beating Man City by 3-0. Very disappointing for Man City, however, to be losing. But as for Spurs, it might feel a little bit bitter for, let's say, other teams who don't really like Tottenham to be in a chance, of course, on stopping Man City from going and really chase on United for the Premier League title if they end up losing this game here for this afternoon. But now here's Fekir now to make it 2-0. Kane in the right position at the right time, and he does again. And what a perfect goal here. Harry Kane, his movement in the box is absolutely unpredictable, because Harry Kane was in the right position at the right time, and now Spurs extend the lead here to make it 2-0. And Man City seem very hopeless they've had in this game so far, because we know that for Man City they have to try and get something in this game here, because Man United are more likely now, 99% likely, to become champions of the league. They are 5 points away from that, by the way, in the Premiership. It's a shot, could have been maybe a goal potentially, but saved right there from the goalkeeper. Only 5 points away from confirmed as champions. If they lose here right now, be only 2 points it will be. And when they do play against next week, or even get a result here over Newcastle, if they can try and get a result over Newcastle, or wait next week till Rangers game, then that will mean that United will become champions of the Premiership if they can defeat Newcastle here today, or maybe a chance for Rangers next week, who knows. But anyway, here's now to Romero now to Fabinho. Now Fabinho now pushing through here for Spurs now. Here's Phil Foden. Now Foden now holds it here for City. Now here's to Messi. Messi now on the attack here now for Man City here. Could be a chance for Messi to shoot, but weak shot there from Messi. Easily went to the keeper's hands there of Lopez. And it is still 2-0 by the way for Tottenham. Now here's Harry Kane. And now all the way there to Fekir now for Tottenham here. Could make it a chance here for him to score, but a corner's being given here, looks like now for Spurs in this match. Cross into the box. Header there from Kane. Oh my god, that could have been free for Tottenham. And it's gone wide. And Spurs will be very, very happy and delighted they will be, definitely for sure, to be 2-0 up here. They will close the gap on Man City, by the way, to try and chase for second place in the Premiership. That would be good for Tottenham if they can do that. In terms of their season so far, they've been, let's say, had their ups and downs throughout this season. They were currently 11th position they were in the Premier League halfway through this season, and now they are up towards in 3rd position in the Premiership as we speak, and really contending themselves and to be in that championship spot by the end of this season, qualify for it. And now here's Alvarez now here now for City now, really pushing through here for Man City. Could be a goal for City to make it 2-1, but save right there for the goalkeeper, and Lopez saves it. And now Phil Foden cross the ball into the box here. Easy save right there for the goalkeeper, and the whistle blows here for half time in the matchup. Only 2 goals were scored in the matchup for Tottenham in the game. And yeah, Harry Kane had some chances, and he did do that nicely. He did, to put 2 goals past the goalkeeper here this afternoon, Ederson, to make it 2-0 to Tottenham at half time. At Spurs 2, City 0.
Manchester City, the kings of English football again.
You'll never stop this thing. I will never let you go.
And let's get straight now to the second half, and Spurs have been absolutely brilliant in that first half, I've got to say. To be winning by 2 goals to 0 is brilliant in terms of how they played so far. Fouls being given, and Song looks like he's been booked a yellow card right there by the referee. What a great second half here for Spurs so far to get a booking in the second half of the matchup, as Jude Bellingham right there was taken out there by Song Heung-min. So Guardiola now has brought on Dooku on, by the way, for Man City. And now here's Francesco Chiesa now for City here. Now to Phil Foden. Now good defending there from Mickey van der Ven. Really pushing through here now. Now Song Heung-min now to Bissouma, pushing through here for Tottenham. And let's see what they can do here now. Really pushing through now, Song. Creating some more opportunities here now for Tottenham. Clearance away now to Jude Bellingham now. And now it's Fekir. And now Kyle Walker. And now here's to Phil Foden now. Really running through here for Man City. And now great defending right there for Tottenham. Now Kane. Kane, he's through. Kane shoots. Save right there for the goalkeeper. Massive chance right here from him to shoot, by the way. And that's gone right there to the keeper's hands for a save. And now we've got ourselves, looks like here, a corner in this matchup. A pure corner kick has been given here. And let's see what they can do with this one now. Corner here for Tottenham in this matchup for Kulusevski in this game. So let's see what happens from here now. And Kulusevski will take this corner kick. Cross into the box here. Header bouncing a little bit slightly. Man City won the ball back here by Guardiola now. And Guardiola now pushes through here forward. And now here's all the way to Udogie now. Udogie pushes through here now for Spurs. And now Udogie now cross the ball into the box here. Header away there from Man City. Still 2-0 to Tottenham, by the way. And now here's to, looks like, for Phil Foden now. Running the ball down the wing here. Now here's Julian Alvarez now for Man City to get the goal back here for City, and they have. And that's 1 goal back for City. They have to get something here, because it looks like if they don't win here, and if Newcastle end up losing to United, then that will mean that Man U will win the Premier League title here this weekend. So at least they've got a little bit of something here in this game. They are still behind though. But at least they've got, let's say, a little bit of something right there to make it 2-1. And maybe a potential comeback, maybe, for Man City in the game. As Spurs right there have conceded. And it's now 2-1 to Tottenham so far. And Spurs will kick things off again here. As Bissouma there, pass the ball there to Fekir. And now here's to Harry Kane. We have got a chance for Kane here to go all the way here for a counter-attack here to shoot, but great perfect save right there from the goalkeeper. And now here's Rodri. And now here's to Jude Bellingham now for, looks like now, from City. And now here's Foden now. Foden now. Nice pass there to Jeremy Doku. Doku! And he scores and make it 2-2. And Doku makes it 2-2. What a great comeback there for Man City to be 2-0 down to make it 2-2 against Tottenham. And that goal right there is important, of course, to keep the title race going. And what a goal there for the substitute there, Jeremy Doku. And it's now 2-2 in the matchup here for Spurs and also Man City in the matchup. What a great comeback there for Pep's team to go from 2-0 down to 2-2 in the second half. And City mean business, they do. They really mean business indeed. And now here's to Bissouma now. Holds the ball tight. Looking for options here now for, looks like, for Tottenham. And now here's Jude Bellingham now. Here's to Foden. Good defending. Now here's to Fabinho. And now here's to Bissouma now. Header there from Kane. Fekir tries to shoot, but good defending there. Kane shoots. Oh, very close. Very close though. And we do have, let's say, a substitution, by the way. Fakir will come off and Bentacar will come on the field, by the way, for Spurs in the matchup. So we do have ourselves a little corner. A corner kick's been given here. Now Guardiel will come off the field and Nathan Ake will come on the field here for Spurs in the match. Now, corner here, pushing through here for Tottenham to really create some magic maybe. Good defending there from Phil Foden. Now Doku. And now is Alvarez. Good defending there. Looks like from Fabinho now. Here's Harry Kane. Song shoots. Oh. Corner now for Tottenham. Nearly over, by the way. Nearly over for full time as we speak. Into the box here. Header away there from Doku. And now Adugi. Want the ball back here for Spurs. Spurs now holds it tightly here from Adugi. Now Fabinho. And now Adugi. Adugi now to Kane. Kane now to Fabinho. Good defending there from Nunes right there. Now back to Spurs again. Now Kane. Now to Bentacar. Now to Kulusevski. And Spurs have scored. In the last dying seconds, Tottenham Hotspur have absolutely ruined Man City's title chances over Manchester United. And I cannot believe this at the end of the game, that Man City have conceded a late goal over Spurs in this matchup. This game was meant to be very important for Pep Guardiola's team to win here, to keep the pressure still alive on Man United. But if United somehow win over Newcastle, then Man United will become champions of the Premier League for this weekend. But at the moment, it's 3-2 to Spurs, and it ends here at the matchup here for this afternoon as a real entertaining matchup between two great teams in this match. Man City feel bitter and disappointed. A year ago, they were crowned champions at White Hart Lane Stadium in the last game of the season, but now their title chances are very slim now after when Spurs won the game for United in the matchup by 3-2 as it ends here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs 3, City 2 at full time. A big win for Spurs. They narrowly won the match by 3-2 over Man City in the game. And that right there is a massive blow now for City, because now that United is all down to them in their matchup over Newcastle in a minute to find out if they can end up becoming champions of the Premier League. Because that defeat right there is a massive blow in terms of United now are 99% close to win the Premiership title. And do you agree now United now have got to go and win their one last game to clinch the Premier League title? That defeat right there, what was your thoughts? That defeat right there you just said was shocking for Pep Guardiola's team not to get anything in the matchup. I actually thought for 1 minute, I thought that maybe Spurs maybe the ones could lose the game, because City were in front in the matchup and they were comfortable, they were some point in the match, and Spurs show a lot of quality in the game, and we know how good they can really be in terms of their attack with Harry Kane up front, and we know that Spurs, let's say, took control of the match, made it very uncomfortable obviously for City in the match, and then they got themselves that massive win now for Spurs to be more closer for themselves to try and qualify for the UEFA Champions League for next season. Because now Spurs are only 2 points behind from Man City in the league. Only 2 points behind from Man City in the league to try and chase up the second place. But as for the Spurs, their aim this season is to get into the Champions League positions by the end of the campaign. And they actually done that here by winning by 3-2. Not qualified mathematically yet though, but if Spurs end up getting a couple wins or 2 wins straight, then definitely Spurs will qualify for the Champions League. But that win right there is huge for the team and for Tottenham, and for Man City. It feels like now that City will not be as consistent enough and win a consecutive Premier League title, as last season they did that at White Hart Lane, but this season they couldn't do it because now it looks like United are getting more closer now to win the league. And thank you very much there, Andy, and let's get straight now to the game here, as we have our next coverage of football. It's the battle of the relegation zone, as 17th place Rangers are currently outside of the relegation zone on the exact same points as Sheffield United though, but Rangers have got better goal difference comparison to Sheffield United. But could Sheffield United, however, get a win over Rangers to put Sheffield United out of the relegation drop by the end of this afternoon? They're the home team here this afternoon at Bramall Lane, and could Sheffield do it over Glasgow Rangers this afternoon? And let's get to the coverage right now between those two sides here for this afternoon. And let's get straight now into the matchup here at Bramall Lane, as the Blades of Sheffield United versus Glasgow Rangers. As we know, the battle for survival could happen in terms of Sheffield United and also Rangers' expense, of course, to be still in the Premier League for next season, because we know that these two teams are on the exact same points, but on goal difference Rangers are above Sheffield United outside of the relegation drop on the exact same points, but on goal difference they are better off, and that's why Rangers are above Sheffield United in the Premier League. So this is a very, very big game. This is for both sides, very important, especially for Sheffield United, however, a team that want to be obviously in the Premier League for next season after being promoted from the Championship last season in third place. And Chris Wilder's side, he's really hoping for Chris Wilder, is hoping that Sheffield United can do something magical in terms of maybe potentially get something here at home. It doesn't matter if they end up obviously winning 3 or 4 5-0, at least they can get the win here and really, let's say, give a bit of nerves to Rangers. Then that'll be something for Wilder hopes his team to do here in the game for this afternoon. But as for the Rangers, however, we know that for them it's very important. They're currently sitting outside of the relegation zone on 17th in the league on goal difference, better off comparison to Sheffield United. So at the moment they're in the safe zone to be in the Premier League for next season. We have got, let's say, a couple of games left of the season, by the way. 4 or 5 games remaining left of the Premier League season. I think we got to 3 or 4 games, I'm not sure, but we haven't got many games left of the season to go, and the next games after this matchup is very important for any of the two teams to get results to try and beat each other in terms of the positioning, of course, to finish in 17th position by the end of the season in that last game of the season a couple of weeks from now. But here's Mason Holgate with the ball, and Sheffield United will start things first, his matchup in the game for kickoff so far. And now Sousa now, and now James McAtee, and that's going to be, looks like here, offside has been obviously given here, and we have got ourselves, looks like here, a free kick for, looks like for Rangers, because he's offside, and Schlutter will take it, and he passed the ball there to Yilmaz, now to Longstrom, and now to Delalo now, really pushing through here now for Glasgow Rangers. And now Delalo again, really pushing through now to Lundstrom. And now Lundstrom really pushing through to Tom Kearney. And that looks like here a foul's been given. And a yellow card right there for Mason Holgate in the matchup to give away a free kick. And Mason Holgate right there took out, looks like Tom Longstrom. And looks like here that Longstrom has got a free kick here, one here, and James Tavernier will take it for the Rangers team in the matchup as we speak. And we all know that James Tavernier, hopefully he might get a goal from here, the captain, the leading captain for Rangers, and hopefully he can do something magical here against Sheffield United. And now Pierre, now Tavernier will take it, and that's gone all the way into the crowd of the Rangers supporters behind the goal, and that was nothing to achieve from that free kick, and that's gone completely wide. And now Jaden Bogle now for Sheffield United, and now here's Yilmaz, and now Yilmaz now to Lundstrom, Lundstrom now to Tom Kearney, and now Tom Kearney right now to Delalo, Now Delano now really pushing through here now for Rangers here. Could be a chance for options here, maybe here for Sheffield United. As looks like Jaden Bogle now to Oliver Norwood. Now to Souza. Really pushing through here for Sheffield here. And now Sheffield United now looking for options here for a goal potentially. Now James McAtee. And now to Schlotter. Now to Longstrom. Now Tom Kearney. And now to Andres Piera. And he really pushes through here now for Glasgow Rangers now. Here's to Bogle. And now Piera. And now here's to Yilmaz. And now here's Piera. And now Delalo. Looking for options here now for Glasgow Rangers now. Want the ball back here now. Here's to Oliver Norwood. For Sheffield United now is Gustavo Hummer. Now to, looks like here is Larozzi. Now Larozzi now, he's through. Larozzi, could be a chance for him to shoot. And a goal for Sheffield United. And Sheffield are in front. And that's a real breakthrough goal to give Sheffield United a massive boost, of course, to be outside of the drop of that goal scored by Larozzi right there. The French, let's say, defender came out and pushed forward and luckily got himself a goal because of that. And Sheffield United will climb out of the relegation drop if they do well here at the moment, as they're currently now in 17th position in the league at the moment as we speak, and Rangers now drop down to 18th because that goal is crucial to keep Sheffield United in the league for next season. And we have got another 4 games remaining left of the season to go, and we know that things can still change despite those matches left of the season to go. But as of right now, they really want to try and get the win over the line, of course, here. And they could do it any minute now in terms of holding on tight from now until the end of the game. And now here's Delano now for Rangers. Now Andres Piera shoots. Save right there for the goalkeeper. Corner here for Glasgow Rangers. And now Rangers a little bit worried a little bit now. They are behind here in 18th position as we speak. And now chance here now for Piera now. Now to, looks like for Wilson. And now all the way there to Souza now. Really pushing through here now for Sheffield United now. Here's McAtee. Now McAtee now all the way now to Holgate. Holgate's through. Chance to make it 2-0 for Sheffield United, but save right there from Samba right there, the goalkeeper. Corner here for Sheffield United. Cross into the box here. Right in the keeper's hands there of Samba right there to keep that in the hands of the keeper. And any minute now the whistle will blow for half time. And Sheffield United has been absolutely brilliant so far in that first half. And I've got to say, Larozzi, the defender for Sheffield United, really got the breakthrough for them. And maybe a chance for them to be avoiding the drop, hopefully. And maybe a big breathing space for Sheffield United to get themselves out of the drop against Rangers here for this afternoon's game. What a great goal there from Yasser Larozzi right there to score the only goal of the matchup as it ends Sheffield United 1, Rangers 0 at half time.
Manchester City, the kings of English football again.
You'll never stop this thing. I will never let you go.
And we are finally here for the second half, and Sheffield United do take the lead going into the break here. And now we're back now for the second half, and let's see if Rangers can respond back in this matchup and get some potential possibility of getting anything out of the game. Even the draw might be enough for Rangers, in fact, to be away. There's a chance for Delano right there, meanwhile for Rangers to try and get the goal. And now here's to Archer. And now here's Bogle for Sheffield United now, going pushing through here. And Sheffield United, of course, want to win this game, definitely. A draw won't be enough because that still keeps them 18th place in the league on goal difference compared to Rangers' points. And now it's a chance for Cameron Archer to shoot, but save right there from the goalkeeper Samba for Rangers. And now James McAtee comes off the field for Sheffield United. A substitution right now for Sheffield. And a header all could have been bouncing slightly-ish, and now we've got ourselves, looks like here, maybe potentially. I'm not sure. It might have been a corner again here. I'm not sure if it touched the Rangers player. I think it might have done. Oh, it's not. It's going to be a goal kick instead. And now Samba will take it here for Glasgow Rangers now at Bramall Lane. Rangers are behind here by 1-0. Rangers will be dropped to 18th if they lose here against Sheffield United. There's only at least now 4 games left of the season to go. And now Andres Pierre is through. And a save right there for the goalkeeper again. A crucial save for him to keep Sheffield United alive. And now's a chance here from Sheffield here to try and get something. But no, here's Lundstrom now. Really pushing through here now for Rangers. And now here's to Holgate. And now to Souza. Now Souza now the ball. Holds it nice and tight. Now to McBurney. Pushing through. And now here's to, looks like Yilmaz. And now here's Ollie McBurney now. Could make it 2-0 for Sheffield United. Good defending now. Here's Lundstrom. And now here's Andres Pereira now. Really pushing through here for Glasgow Rangers. Good defending there from Sheffield United. And now here's to Cameron Archer. And now Archer now really pushing through. And now all the way here for a goal potentially. Good block now. Here's Willian. And now Willian there's Lee. What's he doing, Willian? He's just standing there, he is. But now he's got the ball and now he's passed to there Goldson now. And now here's to Tom Kearney. And now Kearney right there to James Tavernier. Now he's pushing through here now to Delalo. Nice little cut in play here now for Rangers. And that's a free kick being given, by the way, it looks like, for potentially for Rangers, of course, to try and get a goal from this. Now Jalen Berg will come off and Sam Baldock will come on the field. And let's see what happens from here now. So Sam Baldock will come on the field here for Sheffield United. And now we do have a substitution here also for Rangers, as we have Silva come on the field in the late 85th minute in the game. So let's see what they can do here, Glasgow Rangers now. James Tavernier will take the free kick. Maybe a chance here for a goal from this free kick here. Who knows? The captain will take it. James Tavernier shoots. Good block. Corner here now for Rangers. Very good there to see that Rangers almost had a chance, but that's got blocked from the defender there, from Cameron Archer's face it hit. And good defending from him. And now we've got ourselves a corner here for Sheffield United to hold on tight and keep it 1-0. And cross into the box. Goldson scores! And I've got to say that Glasgow Rangers have managed to get the goal, the big goal, to keep Rangers afloat away from the relegation drop. Because on goal difference, they'll stay in 17th position in the Premier League. It'll feel like a victory, this matchup for Rangers, despite them drawing this game by 1 apiece. But on goal difference, they'll still stay in 17th place position in the Premier League. And that'll mean that Rangers are still safe from the drop as we speak. And now James Tavernier, now Schlutter, now to Goldson. Looking for options here now for Rangers here. Now James Tavernier. And that's going to be that for full time. And it was a point shared between these two sides, by the way, in this game. And you cannot see this match really happening in terms of the result here. You cannot split the two teams, but Rangers, however, felt like a victory for them because that point keeps them out of the relegation drop. As the full-time score here ends at Bramall Lane Stadium, as it ends Sheffield United 1, Glasgow Rangers 1 at full time at the end of the matchup here at Bramall Lane. It seems a very disappointing game for Sheffield United not to get the win here over Rangers, because they're on the exact same point as Rangers in the Premier League for the battle of survival between these two sides. It feels like Rangers were, let's say, left the stadium here this afternoon as more likely the winners of that game, because that point right there does not affect Rangers to drop down to 18th after drawing to Sheffield United, as Sheffield United have got the worst goal difference comparison to Rangers on the exact same point. So tell us your thoughts on this 1-1 draw, and what was your thoughts in terms of the game at Bramall Lane? The relegations battle is a very, let's say, big result that these teams have to get, of course, to try and be away from, let's say, a chance on being relegated to play in the Championship for next season. And to avoid relegation, you have to get the most wins and also make sure you have the better goal difference comparison to the team below you if you're on the exact same points together from 17th position and 18th position in the league. And Sheffield United, unfortunately, feel a little bit bitter, a bit disappointed. They could not get the win over the line to put Sheffield United above Rangers in safety in 17th position in the league. But at the same time, they've still got games to play from now until the end of the season. They've got 6 games left of the season to go, and anything can happen between those 6 games. What could happen between Rangers or Sheffield United in their respective matches? But here right now, this afternoon, I think Chris Wilder's side might feel a little bit bitter and a little bit, let's say, apprehensive a little bit after dropping points here against Rangers for this afternoon, because they really want to be in this league. Of course, Sheffield United, a team have not been in this league now for 16 years and got promoted from the Championship last season. This season in the top flight for the first time in 16 years. They really gave it a go under Chris Wilder, and unfortunately they came up a little bit shorter in terms of not getting a win here and to try and put them away out of the relegation drop and drag Rangers into it again. But at the same time, I think Rangers will be very proud that they got themselves that point. Still not a bit, let's say, confident maybe Rangers still enough in terms of their safety opportunities, of course, to be in the Premier League for next season. They're a little bit apprehensive also because of the games they're playing next as well will be very important for Rangers and also especially for Sheffield United as well. So both two teams are going down the wire, I reckon, now, from now until the end of the season to find out who will be the team to drop to the Championship, and one of the other team will be the ones to be safe from relegation to play another season in the Premiership. Thank you very much there, Andy Gray, and now we move on now to the other 8 games of coverages across the Premier League from this weekend. And let's get to those games right now on Super Sunday on the show before wrapping up here of the show here for this afternoon. And then Manchester United unfortunately gave away a stupid goal here by a goal from Callum Wilson for Newcastle to score, because United have to get a result like this here in the game for any chances of becoming Premier League champions, more likely so. But unfortunately Callum Wilson really spoiled the party right there as Newcastle lead here at Old Trafford. But it wasn't the case for long for Newcastle, because in the second half Cristiano Ronaldo scored to make it 1-1, and maybe there's hope for United to be confirmed as champions by the end of the game, after when Man City lost the game by 3-2 over Spurs. But unfortunately they could not win the game here over Newcastle, as both teams shared a point out of each other, and now meant that United have to wait till next week now when they play Rangers next week if they got any chances to win one more game and one more point away to become Premier League champions of this whole entire season. As a full-time score here at the end of the match, as it ends Man United 1, Newcastle United 1 at full-time in the matchup here for this weekend. A brilliant start to the game for Celtic as Chris Wood scored the opener against Brentford, and he scored a real proper strike past Flacken the goalie, as Celtic are in the lead in this matchup and they really want to look for some result here, as they currently need to get a result like this to try and be anywhere closer on survival from the Premier League for this season. And then a real brilliant goal right there from Nathan Redmond to strike that ball past Flacken there to make it 2-0 in the game. As unbelievable, terrific strike right there for him to do so. As Celtic, of course, are really looking, of course, their chances to try and survive the drop, as they're only now at least 5 points behind of safety. And could Brendan Rodgers do the unthinkable and make the great escape for Celtic? As that win right there is a massive win for Celtic, as they have not won a game like this now for the last 2 months now, and that win right there really sets a tone for Celtic to make the great escape, hopefully by the end of the season. But it ends here at full time though, as it ends Celtic 2, Brentford 0 at full time in the game. A Perfect strike here for Liverpool in the matchup from Thiago to score finally the opener in the matchup, as it took them 20 minutes in the game to score the opener, as a real perfect brilliant run right there from Thiago to put the ball past Anger's gun, and now it's 1-0 to Liverpool the Reds in the game. And then Liverpool carried on being consistent and scored another goal in the matchup just before half time, as Darwin Núñez there took it all upon himself, 1v1 to the goalkeeper, and he was very composed, he was there for Liverpool, to try and be as strong and very composed to put it past Gunn. And Liverpool are definitely now running away with 3 points here, hopefully against Norwich. But then Norwich City got themselves back in the game slightly, as Timo Pukki right there took it all upon himself, and what a hit there from Pukki as he put that ball right in the top corner, while Alisson could not reach from Pukki's prolific strike right there for the Finland's striker, as now Norwich are slightly back in the matchup, sort of, in the game. And then Norwich made it 2-2 as Jonathan Royal had a shot, saved, but went to Josh Sargent's head into the back of the net to Norwich City to save themselves a massive crucial point, it looks like, over Liverpool in this game. And I cannot believe to see that Norwich City came back fighting, even though that Norwich thought they probably lost this game here over Liverpool due to the fact that they're bottom of the Premier League. But that point right there will give Norwich City huge confidence, of course, to try and get a fighting chance to survive the Premier League for next season. But that point right there is huge for Norwich. But it ends here at full time as Liverpool drop points here over Norwich, as it ends 2-2 at Carrow Road. And Enzo Fernandez scored the first goal in the matchup for Chelsea as a shot deflected off of Billy Gilmour, the ex-Chelsea player, scored an own goal. Let's say a deflection from him, ricocheted his foot or chest, let's say, into his own net. And Chelsea got the opener in the matchup here against Chelsea. And then Brighton Hove Albion got themselves a goal back in the matchup here as João Pedro scored a goal back for Brighton to make it 1 apiece in the match. As it looks like here, Chelsea could not do anything, unfortunately, to stop, obviously, Brighton from scoring. And Brighton have got themselves back in the game slightly here. But then a great pass there from Abraham, all the way upon himself to shoot and score against the goalkeeper Sanchez. And that's an absolute terrific strike right there from him. And now Tammy Abraham shoots, and a goal scored right there from, looks like there, from Sanchez to make it 2-1 to the Chelsea in the game. And then again, another goal again here for Chelsea as it makes it 3-1 in the game. As I've got to say, brilliant chance for Chelsea to try and shoot, deflected off defenders of Brighton, and it went somehow to the feet there of Tammy Abraham to score the goal to make it 3-1 to the Chelsea. And the full-time whistle blew here at the end of the matchup as Chelsea have got themselves that brilliant victory over Brighton Hove Albion in this game, and they really delivered a real perfect victory over them in the match as Tammy Abraham scored 2 goals in the matchup. But however, overall, Chelsea were the winners by the end of the game, as it ends here at full time, as it ends Brighton 1, Chelsea 3 at full time at the Amex. And Leeds United got themselves a goal in the matchup to make it 1-0 in the game, as what a perfect, brilliant hit right there from Patrick Bamford. Nice control right there from him to shoot against the goalkeeper of Emiliano Martinez, as now Leeds United are now 1-0 up to the good here at the stadium of Villa Park. And then another goal scored in the matchup here for Aston Villa as a brilliant strike right there. Looks like from Ollie Watkins to slot that ball home, as what an assist right there from Leon Bailey to find options in the box here for Watkins to shoot, and he does. And now it is 1 apiece in the match. And then Villa again scored another goal in the matchup to make it 2-1 as John McGinn strikes it past the goalkeeper of Ivan Moulier right there to put Villa 2-1 up to the good here in the game. And that's an absolute wonderful strike right there for Villa to get the winning goal by John McGinn, the captain. As it ends here at full time, Villa got themselves a real dramatic victory over Leeds United as it ends 2-1 to the Villa in the game. And And a real perfect goal in the matchup by Jamie Vardy for Leicester City, the visitors, as Leicester City scored away from home at Goodison Park. As a real perfect finish right there from Jamie Vardy to get that ball past the goalkeeper of Jordan Pickford to make it 1-0 to the Foxes. And then Alex Iwobi, however, got himself a goal back for Everton here, the Toffees, to score the game to make it 1-1 in the matchup. Lot to play for here between Leicester and Everton, as a real perfect hit right there from Iwobi to pass there a shot against Schmeichel to make it 1-1 in the match. Game on here between the two sides. And then Leicester City got themselves another goal here, and another goal scored by Jamie Vardy again, as he had a chance to shoot, saved right there from the feet of Jordan Pickford, and it went rebounded back to Jamie Vardy once again, and he put that ball past Pickford to make it 2-1 to Leicester in the game. And then looks like here a goal for Everton to make it 2-2 as Dele Alli shoots, blocked, and then Danjuma got onto that and scored past Schmeichel to make it 2-2 in the game. But unfortunately right there, Schmeichel unfortunately could not stop Danjuma from scoring, and now it's 2-2. But Vardy, however, on the counter-attack here, has a shot against the goalkeeper Jordan Pickford to shoot against the keeper, and that is now a nicking 3 points right there from Leicester. I thought Everton might get a point over the game. That goal right there from Jamie Vardy, that hat-trick right there from Vardy, has set the tone for Leicester to get 3 points here away from home. Hat-trick was absolutely fantastic for Vardy to have that match ball by the end of the game. But unfortunately for Everton, great form throughout the whole season. The dark horse of the Premier League have been falling apart a little bit near the end of the season, as they're dropping slowly down the table of the Premier League. A perfect goal here for kudos for West Ham United to get the first opener here in this London derby matchup over Crystal Palace, as the Ghanaian took it all upon himself past a few defenders of the Palace, and he slopped that ball past Dean Henderson to make it 1-0 to West Ham in the game so far. And then West Ham carried on again in the second half as James Ward-Prowse scored another goal in the matchup to make it 2-0 to the Hammers, as West Ham have extended the lead here in the game, and looks like the goalkeeper Dean Henderson could not stop James Ward-Prowse from shooting, and has an absolute tremendous strike from him to put West Ham United 2 goals up in the game. And then West Ham United got themselves another goal here as Gerald Bowen right there. What a run right there from Gerald Bowen to get the third goal of the matchup, and has an absolute perfect finish. Took it all by himself, as Palace right there were very vulnerable throughout the whole matchup in the second half, not get anything in the game. And unfortunately the Hammers, West Ham United from East London, travelled all the way down to South London to score 3 goals past Crystal Palace here at Selhurst Park Stadium, as unfortunately the Palace could not do anything in the game to do anything to stop West Ham, as it ends here at full time, as it ends Palace 0, West Ham United 3 at full time. A very good start for Arsenal within half an hour in the matchup, as Gabriel Jesus scored the first opener in the matchup, as unfortunately Jose Sarr could not manage to save that shot there from Jesus, as that shot went really right past the goalkeeper Jose Sarr to make it 1-0 to the Arsenal in the game. And then Wolves got themselves back level in the matchup, as poor goalkeeper from David Raya though, as Chunna right there, great header there from Chunna into the goalkeeper Raya, and the ball hit the leg of David Raya and he went into his own net, as Wolves got themselves that massive point over Arsenal in terms of their chances of survival. But as for Arsenal, disappointing for them, as we know that for Arsenal there's a massive chance for them to try and close the gap away from the 6th position in the Premier League if they've got any chances on themselves to qualify for the Champions League for next season. But the full-time score here blows here at Molineux, as it ends Wolves 1, Arsenal 1 at full-time here at Molineux this afternoon. The official results of the Premier League for matchday 34. Spurs 3, Man City 2, Sheffield United 1, Rangers 1, Man United 1, Newcastle 1, Celtic 2, Brentford 0, Norwich 2, Liverpool 2, Brighton 1, Chelsea 3, Aston Villa 2, Leeds 1, Everton 2, Leicester 3, Palace 0, West Ham 3, and Wolves 1, Arsenal 1. The official table of the Premier League, as Manchester United are currently top of the league. They've got to get one more point to win themselves the Premier League for next week if they defeat Rangers at Old Trafford, while Man City did lose 3-2 to Spurs. They're currently in second, while Spurs are now 2 points behind from City to may close the gap and chase Man City for second place, while Liverpool and Arsenal are in the top 5, while Newcastle is currently in 10th position, while West Ham are up to 9th. And now in the bottom end of the table of the Premier League, as we know that Sheffield United have dropped down to 18th after losing to... And that will also mean as well that we have Sheffield United are currently now in 18th position in the league, while Rangers are currently outside of the relegation drop on goal difference in 17th place. And coming up here on BBC, we do have match of the day, as we have Manchester United, the home team, and they take on against Rangers for next week to find out if Man United will become crowned champions of the Premier League, as we'll find it all out for next week, while Arsenal will play Spurs in the North London derby. And that's all we have time for here right now on Super Sunday. Myself here today, Richard Keys, and my fellow pundit aside me, Andy Gray, and we'll see you all for next week with some football coverage, of course, of match of the day. But until then, have a very good eve.